Yo, yo, yo. All right, let's share the stream link around. I was just getting some stuff ready. Some stuff. Let's post this. Fuck, I was supposed to share the stream link. All right. Good morning, good morning. All right, so today we're going to be looking over, I mean, it's already bullish. I'll just read my notes, I guess. I don't know why I'm going to repeat it. Trend is already bullish for intraday, being above 637. Any loss of the highlighted area, and we'll probably see sellers take over short term. That's like our TLDR. If we see a hold of this area, we can expect pre-market high and maybe even beyond the 640s for buyers. Today can lead to bigger moves. Just make sure to be on the right side of it. I don't know what the hell I typed that for. But yeah, so that's kind of the game plan. Kind of already bullish being above this area. Talked about this yesterday. It actually did pretty good being above it. It just didn't really go anywhere. Which, again, this move was alright. I wasn't too mad about this move, because it kind of goes in line with everything I've really been covering for a long time. The whole... Well, after, I mean, clearly we lost the level, but made our low, went up, got our, you know, little bit of a move there. Then we got a pullback, holds this low. So that's just kind of confirming, like, hey, we're trying to hold this. After this was just saying it wasn't. And then it gets us that good single move up. And this is literally what the BTD strat's for. It literally just gives us that second higher low. But I think the thing that was not as enticing about this setup, though, was because it really didn't dip down that much, right? I think if it would have dipped down a little bit more, I think more people would have been all over this. But chat did pretty good yesterday, regardless of that price action. So maybe that's why I typed that last sentence, because I think there'll be movement because there was not that great of movement for a good chunk of yesterday, if I'm being honest. And then let me go to Financial Juice real quick. And there was news, of course. That's why we have such a amazing candle there in pre-market. The gap fib is in the zone too. I'm not even surprised anymore. Every time I've been drawing like previous day halfway points or overnight gap fibs, they end up lining up with like something else I already have now. So recently it's been kind of fun because it's just been really easy just being like, oh, okay, I don't have to draw that. And then just chilling. I'm not joking. If you go back and look at like the past few chart posts, like I haven't really had to change much. Tesla especially, I haven't had to change a whole lot. I posted Nvidia today, or for today, just because I've been posting Tesla every day, but Nvidia's pretty good for intraday trading, that is. Meta loves this news, I guess, so we'll just take that one on the chin. Google's going up. Nice. So XLC is actually benefiting the best right now. Yeah. I bet if I check this... Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Man, you could have fooled me. Just looking through the top weights of each of the top few sectors there. Really felt like XLC was doing the best, but I guess they're right. It says discretionary is doing the best, so let's go find out what the hell. I mean, I don't... Jesus, dude. Damn, dude, Nike's not even in the top 10 anymore for discretionary. I'm news to this. DoorDash overtook them. O'Reilly overtook them. I think Starbucks is already over them. I'm pretty sure they were like 9th. Damn, dude. O'Reilly overtook them. I mean, DoorDash doesn't really surprise me. O'Reilly surprises me. I still am confused on why XLY is up that much. I couldn't even tell you why. There's got to be a top 20 weight that's up like 5-6% right now. Because I'm just not seeing that on Amazon. I'm not seeing that on Tesla. That one's a little weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that. That is really weird. Again, it's probably a weight I'm not paying attention to. Like, Amazon's doing great. Tesla's at a pretty good part of its chart. It's just not doing great from the open. And here's SPY. Here's the CPI news if anybody just didn't know where to look or doesn't know what they're looking at. It's up here at the top. Always look right here. It's the most important info every time. Oi, what's up? Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Lag. Sorry, I just been ranting. Trying to go over whatever the hell. Make sure to like the stream. Sorry, I forgot to sell my soul there for a second. Grab your stream link and send it to 102 of your friends. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you all had a great night. What else needs to be covered? I've covered SPY. I've covered most of the weights. I went over the news. Here's your SPX chart if anybody in here is an SPX goon. I don't have any higher levels than that. We gotta fix that. I'm not doing the backwards fib. That's fucking huge. That would be like way up off my chart. How did I do that for SPY? What did I draw? I think I just went from from break to new high, and it gave me forward targets. Probably just do the same thing then. So they started here, they fell here. Green, red, green, red, green, red, green. Well, if we're going off the past couple weeks, today should be a green day. They're giving us a Christmas tree. This is actually the kind of trading that I said is actually kind of the best, but a lot of people think it's the worst because of how it visually how it looks. But it's been pretty methodical, I would say. If you're just using halfway points from each previous day, you shouldn't really have this issue. The one issue that we might have today is this fib, because this is the first time we've opened this high compared to the previous day, I think. No, besides this one, this is a pretty significant one. That's pretty big. That's not that crazy. That's not that crazy either. That one's pretty decent. They're not horrible. That one's not shit. This is kind of big. Going from your previous day close up to your today's open, that's pretty big for your SPX chart. That's, see what I'm saying? It lines up. Our last fib lines up with our other fib. It's actually crazy. Straight up so far for SPX. Straight up so far for SPY. Not really much to break down. It's kind of just going off of good news, of course, from the CPI. RSP. Triple Q. Triple Q straight up because of tech, of course. Actually, RSP might be a good one to watch today, just because it's the equal weight ETF. But honestly, on a day like today, from what I've learned, it's best not to trade the first move after CPI. It's best to watch like an individual chart, like Nvidia. An individual equity is what I meant. I'm trying to speak English. And then maybe in a little you could go back to SPY and check on it just to see. AMD's not bad either. The semis aren't in bad spots for intraday trading. But it just sucked because most of these charts are like the same exact thing. And anytime anyone's like, well, why is it doing that? It's just because of news. Like, I really can't sit here and I think what's crazy too is the closer we get to interest rates actually coming down, whenever the fuck that's going to happen, is the inflation data, the data on how much our goods and all that crap is, like basically how our country's economy is doing, are getting slightly better. And the closer we get to this interest rate decision by the Fed, the more important it's going to be. So it's just building up pressure, basically. You know, it's like when you're going to talk to a pretty girl and you build up anxiety. It's like it's the same thing. Holy crap, Google's doing really good. So when I say really good, by the way, guys, you need to really compare. It's like, okay, yeah, big green candle, but compared to what? Like, it's doing good compared to what? And if I'm really just using that previous day high in a lot of these charts to kind of just pick at how far it's gone, maybe from its open, even is how you'll hear me say it sometimes. But it's just good to have that context, because then you can be like, okay, well, this is a pretty shit chart. Like this one, you could be like, oh, well, this hasn't done much. It's like, why hasn't it done much? Because it's not moving. It opened here and it's right here. No, in comparison to its previous day, it's really not going anywhere. Give yourself a starting point. I would love to see Nvidia bounce from here. That's a beautiful spot to dip and rip from. We'd have to see if the entire market's actually going to do that, though. Because that begs the question, is this the high of the news, or do we go more? How good is the good news? So far, it's pretty damn good. If you guys have any questions, any updates to add on top of anything, feel free to just type it. Let me know. What's everyone looking at? How was everyone's night? Good morning, all that good stuff. And don't forget to like the stream. Also, can anybody hear the music? I've had a problem with people even hearing music on my stream lately, so I'm wondering if you guys can even hear this one. Watch, someone's gonna be like, what music? It's a fucking classic joke. Good morning, Sandollar. Good to see you. Sorry, guys. I'm reading your messages. I'm just... You hear music? Okay, dude. Man, there have been some people fucking with me recently. I can't tell who's messing with me anymore. Music good, plan good. Damn, this has got to be the first time I've ever gotten the audio right before the stream started after fucking it all up. Hell yes, we're doing it. Years later, finally getting that audio. Is the music decent? Because I'm trying to click playlists now that actually have like titles. This one said chill, so I was hoping maybe it was like decently chill. I'm not trying to find any like, you know, super crazy annoying music for y'all to have to listen to the whole stream. If enough people ask later, I'll just turn it off. It's really not that big a deal. It's just music. It's not good music either. If we could play good music on here, we could all complain all we want, but we don't have that luxury. You're only here for the lo-fi. Yeah, fuck this stock market, dude. Music good, playing good, music is good. Okay, cool, guys. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I really am sorry I ask y'all that a lot, because I always feel weird when I'm like, yo, guys, can y'all hear music? Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear that? It's like, God, they've probably heard me ask this so many freaking times. Some streamer. See what would have happened if you would have joined that first move. This is why you don't ignore clear as day levels. I think what the craziest thing on this chart, I didn't even really cover it that well yet. I mean, I covered it, but I didn't sit there and tell the great significance of it. Not only is it like, I didn't mark this because of pre-market high, guys. Why do I have this dotted line right here? Does anybody know why? Anybody who's been paying attention to the chart updates? What is the dotted line on my chart? It's not a halfway point or anything. Nothing like that. It's more historical than that. Your market / CPI update makes me laugh and is music to my ears. Yeah, you know me with the updates. I don't like to go super deep. I hate when people try to act like they know that they can go super deep on an economic update too. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Speak English. Just asking for an update on the basics. I always just tell people to just go to the websites and just read the quick bios. Like, don't try to sit there and act like you understand everything. Well, I mean, maybe Sanddollar does. Sanddollar probably understands half that shit. I don't. I'm not going to sit there and read through a bunch of what feels like bullshit just to get to the meat, you know? I'm just going to jump straight to the meat. I don't understand why I got to go through all that. And I'm not that smart. I'm not fucking super intelligent, you know? I'm not gonna sit there and like read every literal thing from that copy and paste either. That's just like, that's two ends of the spectrum I don't want to be on. I just want to be me. All-time high. 640, get the fly swatter. Dude, literally. Historical, all-time high. Yep, y'all right. It is the all-time high. So why this level has so much significance is because it's pretty close to the pre-market high. So most people might think like, oh, he's just got pre-market high drawn. It's almost 640. It's almost just a psychological number itself. Because again, every whole number, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 25, 50, 75, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, the more spread out, the more significant. It's a good psychological number too. And it's the all-time high. This is the all-time high right here. So pretty significant level. And I really like what Jim said. He said 640, get the fly swatter. Like it is kind of funny. Like we really are just getting swatted away from this level over and over again. So kind of funny. And of course, what I think is why I say funny is because like we get this huge news and people will sit there and be like, oh, it's always random. No, it isn't. It's literally calculated. They know how high something can go or how low something can go based on a certain reaction or level of reaction from a certain piece of piece of news. Sorry, event. The hell am I saying? So I don't know. This is how I see it. It's not random. It's not. I just refuse to believe that. It's never been random. It never will be random. Market maker loves the pre-market psychology. They really do. They're not that, but that's I think this is the one thing I like about, because people think like, oh, market makers are evil. If they didn't exist, we'd be fine. If they didn't exist, we wouldn't have liquidity. So no, that's not right. The market would not flow the way it flows if we didn't have what we have. The market makers, the level of institution. It wouldn't flow the way you see it right now. But yeah, it's definitely not random. For the most part, it's definitely going to be somewhat calculated out. I'm not going to sit here and be like, every cent has been foreseen. Like, no, it's not like that. But it is definitely projected out a lot. Yeah, without market makers, exactly, it'd be very painful. That's a good way of putting it. What is ES and NQ doing? I'm not sure, but SPY is actually getting fly swatted away from that all-time high level. That's pretty impressive. ES is kind of following along with what we saw on the SPY chart there, but that makes sense. They're not the exact same chart, but they're similar. They track similar things. /NQ is your tech futures chart. They're also taking a dump, not just away from that high of pre-market high in their previous day right there from the left, but they're also under the open now. And we'll see, does this dump get a little bit of follow-up? Does it not? I gotta check NVIDIA. Alright, good. I'm gonna go back to SPY, honestly. That was kind of fun watching that. I think I like it because the levels are super spaced out. By the way, if anybody asks about 642 or 645, yes, those are just straight up psychological numbers. It was actually supposed to be 642.50. I just didn't take the time to edit it. That's crazy too. They just instantly reject it, go straight down to this area. Which again, this is where we were more kind of focused on for our game plan for the day. We're more focused on, does this bounce from here? Does this dump from here? So far, not seeing a buyer reaction at all today. The first 10 minutes was fine, sure. But that's nothing that significant. I think this would be more significant, and then the fact that this is all-time high, that's pretty big. And then we have this. So we actually have a really well spaced out game plan for the day, even though we're on the back end of a bunch of, news. Which I don't really like to sit here and cover news all day, just because it is very, you just want to punch something. But yeah. Pretty good movement so far today. I think this is a good reflection on how today could be. I think we could get good movement all day. Except maybe like an hour and a half during lunch. But yeah, so that's the game plan. I'm sorry that it's kind of, again, like I said, on the back end of news, which again does kind of fuck up your contracts a little bit. You have implied volatility to deal with. You have the already sitting volatility of the market to deal with, outside of your normal parameters and all that good stuff of like, oh, I gotta watch for this, I gotta watch for that. It might also feel like you're under more pressure because of the movement if you're in that kind of trade. Damn, what is happening down here? Bottom half of the list all bloody. I genuinely am still confused on that XLY. Holy shit, Amazon. I mean, this might have been the biggest liar of the whole market. I mean, this was almost up $2 from where it closed, which is kind of crazy. Nothing else was like that. And then you go through the weights, and none of them were really moving like that. Amazon was, up a tiny, tiny amount at the very beginning. Tesla was as well, but it was not reflecting what it should have been. And then you went through the weights just under that, but maybe like I said, I didn't go deep enough to find all the weights. See, like Meta, like this is one that could have done that, but it's not in that sector. That's XLC. So that one's a little weird. Waiting to see what side it picks. Nice. Of the gap up too, just for I didn't even draw that right, actually. I'm pretty sure that drew that wrong. Well, let's try that again. Or maybe it didn't. Oh, well, I guess it didn't. It looked wrong. I was just going to say, of the gap up, we're not even at the 50% for SPX. So, a lot of your, like, volatility is still sitting right here. I'm not going to lie, SPX looks 6,000 times cleaner today. It's trying to retake over today's open after hitting the 50% almost. I say almost because it did almost touch it. And I didn't even draw it for this one. I guess let's see what it looks like. Oh, they're touching their fit. Okay, so, and that's what Maddie was saying earlier too. He said it was in there, and it's pretty much towards the top of that. So we'll see if it holds that. I guess my plan is like double verified now. I just had to see that because visually that looks really nice. Anybody looking at the SPY chart? Oh, my bad. Let me pull up the options chain and detach it so I can actually go over what contracts you'll be looking at based on what level's holding. So if you like this area holding, you like it trying to go up, you're going to want to definitely aim for the hold up. 639 would be actually not horrible today. It's kind of crazy how costly these aren't. 639, 640, 641. 641 would be pushing it. But those are the three that you should keep in mind if we get some upside plays today. So far, it's looking decent. Puts. Probably going to be looking at the 637, 636. Around there. So if you are looking at some short-term intraday scalps, those are the contracts we would like to be looking at based on the conditions of our chart. So if we're like, we're going to buy calls over this level, or if this level holds, or if this breaks down lower, I'm going to get puts, or, you know, whatever your plan is on the chart, it's kind of nice to plan what contracts you'll probably be eyeing at that time. You're still watching Intel's range. Government seems unwilling to let them collapse. Oh yeah, we pretty much can't let Intel collapse. That's like that's a big thing. Like when people get pissed off that Boeing, I mean I get pissed off too, but when people get pissed that Boeing is still a company, they haven't been completely punished for the things that they've done. It's like they forget they're also like a huge chunk of our military. You know, it's like we can't really get rid of Boeing. Sorry. I'm sorry that they did that, but they're still a little bit more important than just, you know, the customer, people like you and me flying around, consumers. And I think after we've seen that green candle hold the top of that level, for anyone who is trying to buy a dip, I would say you definitely need to see a higher low now that you've seen that green candle. Just because you have seen a pretty significant seller step in. But we'll see if this ends up breaking again or not. If it doesn't, chances of a higher low. If it ends up breaking 637.10, it's a good chance we're fading lower. On MES, the gap, CP and PDCP are super tight. Risk 2 longs off the bounce of it, trimmed 1 at CDO. Stop for break even, got 5 points on the first con. Good shit, dude. And yeah, that was a good, like, let me get a quick scalp type buy. I like that. And you got your move up to the open, which is a very significant area. So you got a little bit of good movement, hit a very important level, and you got out of one of them. Sucks you didn't get any follow through with this candle yet, but you did really good on that first just initial reaction. Like the first half of that's just like assassin level, you know? You saw the opportunity, you stabbed it, you got it instantly. Didn't let it go. And you managed it very well. So actually, I guess we should say like over 60 6% of this trade was definitely really, really good. Like, did as best as you could. Couldn't have done anything different. Good shit, Maddie. And then on the exiting part of that, you just didn't get a better move to finish off that trade. It's not like your trade was shit. Risky, but I like it because it makes sense. You got that 50% sitting there, and there is gonna be. It's funny, like we talk about it every day in these streams and every day in the videos and all that stuff, and like people still like don't react or buy or sell from there. It's mind blowing. It's like we don't just sit here and cover it for nothing. So it's good to see you taking action on a level that we find a lot of importance behind. UNH is now scalpable? Are you being serious? Damn, look at that thing go. It's like, yes, the market's trying to fall down. Let me go up now. I'm telling you, man, don't forget about UNH. I've been saying it for weeks. As soon as you forget about this ticker, it's going to start going back up. Though I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to hit 200 or maybe hit like 180 and then go back up above 200 the next day. That really wouldn't shock me either. And it's not like we're in a good trend or anything. It's definitely still in a downtrend, but this is going to be one of those charts that people forget about and then it just randomly back up at 400 or something. And I'm not seeing a single daily time frame I think looks good, honestly. For a lot of our top weights, too. I'm going to close that real quick. I short scalped Nvidia from the post I put in premium. And then I forgot about it because I'm streaming. And then I went back and looked and it was up a lot. And I was like, alright. Now we're back on SPY. That's pretty cool too. Now I can just like not check Nvidia for like a week and I'll just come check it again. Get my one good play and come back later. SPY's doing really good from that rejection of today's open. And I think I really like the downside just because of this initial reaction. And now that we've gotten this and a new low, this is kind of telling us it should keep going down unless we see a retake of this 637.10. So unless this candle, I was about to say, wicks up, probably not going to see any good retake there. We'll see though. They are still reacting to that level though. The overnight 50%. Ooh, BMY, that's a good one. I haven't heard of Bristol Myers in forever. BMY is a good ticker. For what you're about to go do it for. Yeah, Joby's good. I'm sorry, but doesn't Ulta look like it's about to turn into the greatest short retest trade ever? Maybe I'm tripping when I say that, but I mean, it broke down, came back up. Its only chance of retaking was right here. Rejected, and now we're back up again. This just feels like a second lower high. I'm going to have to remember that. Ulta end of day might be a good swing. I'll have to see if anything changes today, but that doesn't look too bad. UPS dips. I'm genuinely surprised this hasn't been bought up yet. Like, the day this goes back up to 100 is the day I'm laughing. I'm genuinely surprised that this is down here still. I don't even care about their earnings. Like, that's incredible. UPS is going to get bought back up. I feel like that's a pretty strong one to look at. It's funny, it's the U's. We said Ulta, UPS, UNH. Like, it's all the U's. The U's are some good warm-up charts right now. SPY rejecting all-time highs, we already know. This chart's crazy from Alexis. I keep checking this one, Alexis, because its movement is so clean. It's like I'm studying. Higher low on Nike. Daily chart. Inside bar Kava. Lamb Weston. I think this is a good dip buy too. It doesn't start with you, but not a bad one. The Potato Company. Reddit, that one's for the lulz. We just like to watch that one because it's crazy movement. Poor Snow. Shopify, what the hell did you do? Whirlpool. That's in a pretty decent position on the chart. I don't know what the hell I was about to say. Hims is moving down. I'm the one buying UPS back up. In my opinion, that's the strongest buy for like a long-term equity buyer. I would definitely say is UPS. That's just my opinion, though. It's not like I'm some glorified investor or anything. There's a couple I like, honestly. Bull. We already talked about that. UPS. LW. There's a couple charts that actually look really good for long-term buyers. I have to always clarify that because I say that someone's like, fuck, I'm shorting it into tomorrow. It's like, all right, well, I'm not talking about you then. I'll look at Hims as well, Frankie. Oh, you're saying Hims is going to go back up from this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either. Every time it's taken its dip, because when I first started watching this, it was after this move, if I remember correctly. And then I was part of this. I didn't catch that. That would have been fucking awesome. I saw this candle, and I was like, yeah, it's going to slow down now. And it did to some extent. And then it was like, just kidding. And then since then, I haven't traded it, but I've watched it pretty a lot. I was going to say pretty much every week, but that's not true. But yeah, it has pretty strong reactions to whatever this area is. It's kind of like between this, a little bit before I started watching it, and then where they came down, and then where I started trading it. So somewhere in here. It's pretty significant. And you can see there's even a higher low holding above it now. So we'll see if that happens, or are they going to try to give us another higher low, or do they need to test this one? What's up with that? So that's a good looking chart though. Good movement. Back to SPY. Like I said, if they get any kind of movement under this area, definitely a good sign sellers are still here following this move here, which would have been a great follow-up. Anything holding this or wicking this or bouncing off of this, definitely a better sign for the buyers. But same instance though, you know, sellers can set up and not get follow through. Are the buyers about to do the same thing, or is this all they needed? Because they're setting up like they want to go, but if they can't hold above this level, it's not really going to do anything for them to go farther. So if they get above this, they hold above this like we're seeing it now, they should make it to 640. That'd be a good scalp. Above 640, we can start looking towards 642, but we'll see if we even get that far. Because it has been a rough morning, so we'll see if we get more rough BS, or we're about to get a very clean move here. So far, it's looking pretty good. And the movement hasn't been bad today, even after the news came out. Let me know what you guys are looking at, though, if you're looking at anything different. We also talked about NVIDIA. Talked about a couple of the other individual equities on the left side there. Nothing crazy, though. Maddie said, I totally didn't double dip this. I sold out at current day open like a beach, though. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like, I'm up 602%, dude. I didn't sell that other position. I bought the dip. I averaged in. I enjoy using trading. Sorry, I'm reading that late. Enjoy using trading as income stream for investments. Yeah, that's how it should. I try to tell a lot of that to my group. I like, yes, options trading is a thing, but it really, in reality, it's a tool. Options trading is a tool for longer term traders, for longer term investors. It's not for sitting here every day and just options trading. You really should have a higher priority on long term investments over this short term bullshit. Because that's a big stat that people are so like lied to about, and it really annoys me. I don't even remember the stupid stat. Maybe one of you remember the number, but it's where it's like anybody who options trade, there's only like 5 or 10% of people who profit from this, or blah 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 every year, and then there's a stat where it's like after your first year, there's only 30% of people still trying to trade. After their third year, there's only 10% of them that remain. Like, that is all such bullshit, because that is just people who are just options trading. If you're just options trading, get out of my chat. Genuinely serious, because options trading is a tool for longer term investors. You should be using it to help fuel finding some, getting into some, dollar cost averaging, like whatever your strat, whatever you find. I don't even care. I'm trying not to be too specific so I don't like judge anybody's position. I'm not trying to be judgy. You re-entered with a better entry. I don't average in. I don't buy in again. I re-entered with a better trade. The way you worded that is so funny. No, good shit, Maddie. You're not trading scared. Apple and Microsoft are divergent. Yep, I've actually been covering that a lot in these past couple weeks. I'm not even trying to take credit from you, Sandollar. I appreciate you for highlighting that again. It's something I've covered pretty in depth these past couple weeks in the streams, and it's just been fun to watch because they have been. I agree with you 100%. Today, not as bad as before, but if you look at the chart, like on the intraday charts, and you go back a couple days, it really is, like you said, divergent. It's funny too. I've even thrown NVIDIA into the mix. Now today is a horrible example of this conversation, but NVIDIA and Microsoft have actually done a lot of damage together, while Apple's actually been trying to do the opposite. So it's kind of been fun watching those three. Also fun because they're in the same exact sector. But yeah, no, good job, Sandollar, for seeing that. Because that is very true. As of right now, that is true. When I was younger, all I did was options every single day. After a couple years, I felt like burnt toast. It's a very accurate way of putting it, though. It probably would feel that way. Just being burnt out, feeling maybe not lost, but like you don't really know where you're at, you know, just that kind of thing. And that's just how it is, because that's what options are. They're literally just a tool. And I'm not saying option trading is evil. We do it in here almost every time I stream. But I also like to highlight the higher priority, which is definitely the longer term investments. And a lot of the people in my chat that have gotten into it over the past couple years have honestly gotten addicted to it without my help. Because it's fun building up something. It's fun dollar cost averaging. It's fun building up companies or researching companies you could get into. Stuff like that. Dr. J. He said, I never feel more alive than when I'm Zero DTEing my child's college fund. You know, we sit here and laugh at that. That's probably actually happened at one point. He's like, just one SPX same day. I can do it. I promise. SPX and SPY still doing their thing, touching the 50% overnight gap and bouncing. Does anybody have any questions about the overall movement so far? Even though we are kind of on the back end of news, the movement is still pretty damn clean, not gonna lie. Reported. Yeah, please report him. But not to like anyone, like to the actual authorities. Having investment vehicles removes a lot of the stress of needing to show up every day and have winners. Yeah, that too. That's a true statement as well. Takes the pressure off a little bit. I think that's like genuinely like the norm too. So when someone tells me they only options trade, I'm like, okay, this guy definitely has a higher blood pressure than me. This price action is messy? Really? I disagree, but maybe we're looking at a couple different things. So what's up, Lag? Are you going to get BF6 when it comes out? Did you play the beta or no? It's really packed right now. Well, it's over right now, and then it'll restart again, I think, this upcoming weekend. What a lot of people didn't realize, and I only figured this out on accident, it actually started Thursday night, and then you could play all Friday. And then the normies were like, oh, you can play Saturday and Sunday? Because I'm not joking, I played a lot Thursday and Friday, and I didn't have any issues. As soon as Saturday kicked in, it was like, okay, bro, I had to wait to queue. I had to wait just to get on the game. It felt like it was moving slower. But I think it was because the servers were just like not ready for that many people. I also don't understand who's handing out those beta codes. Like, when I heard beta, I'm like, okay, cool. Like maybe like 100,000 people will play this, or 200,000. Bro, there was 500,000 people on the beta, and I haven't even seen the latest number. That was just as of the weekend. I didn't even see the actual peak. But maybe that was the peak. 500,000. They literally passed up Call of Duty Warzone and live player count on a beta. Like, Battlefield 6 might actually just do really good. I think what people fear is because it's DICE. They're like, okay, how are y'all gonna fuck it up, EA? How are y'all gonna fuck this up? Like, everyone's just waiting for them to fuck it up somehow. I don't think they will, though, because everyone was complaining about the shotguns being OP. They already, like, came out and were like, yeah, we're actually going to nerf those on the game's release, blah, 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 blah. Like, so they're actually listening to people who want the product, which is weird as fuck to see from EA and DICE and all that. But, yeah, I'm excited for that, though. Yeah, well, the queue wasn't bad, honestly. Like, it sucked having to sit there a little bit, but... it actually wasn't as bad as most people think, because if you sat there, like, the number went down like 50,000 people every couple minutes. Like, it wasn't like they were letting in like 2 people at the club per minute or anything. They were genuinely, there was a lot of people getting in, but yeah, it was crazy. Feels like we're stuck with EA forever. No, we really are. The people we're really stuck with is like Valve. We're really stuck with like Valve and Steam, because they're not going to go anywhere. EA, DICE, I don't know why I keep saying them like they're different. They're the same exact thing, basically. EA, and then whatever the Fortnite company is, Epic Games, like, they're all trying to catch up, because they really are far behind in terms of, like, how many games are under their belt, the inventory they have, prices, how many people actually give a shit anymore. Like, everyone has Steam. You know, it's like that's like a pillar at this point. If you're a PC, like you're on PC, but it's crazy when you think about EA and DICE and all that, because it's just like, man, y'all really had something going, man. Y'all just pissed on everybody. What is EA's stock price? If it's higher than $90 a share, I will be surprised. Okay. It's almost double that. That's all-time high. Jesus Christ. Actually, that makes sense. I don't know why I'm acting like that doesn't make sense. After I just said the player count's the highest it's ever been. It's pretty crazy. Like, that blew my mind when I watched that video. It was like, yeah, there's 500,000 people on this. Like, I didn't even realize that. That sounds like a full release. It's still beta. That's the crazy part. Alright, guys. I'm going to turn off this crap, and we're going to look at a cleaner looking chart. Whoops. I guess 50's fine. I'm trying to keep like enough levels under it and above it so it's not like super hard to look at. Does anybody need any like updates or recaps on any of this movement or anything about the game plan they might have missed? Kind of already seeing a follow through of the game plan from the bounce of the overnight 50% as well as 637.10. It's that purple level, or one of the purple levels. I should probably remove the other two. I need to quit drawing on the chart so damn much. It's just kind of fun to like click and draw as I'm talking, because it's like it feels like I'm more interactive with it. I feel like I'm a part of the chart. Only time EA behaved itself was at Rock Bottom. That's actually facts. I heard GTA 6 is gonna be $100. I genuinely wouldn't even be surprised, because the new standard is 70 for like top rated games. It used to be 60. And with the hype and slow like build up of GTA, I wouldn't be surprised that if it's 100. I genuinely wouldn't. And you know what's funny? People are gonna pay it. When it comes to GTA 6, people will pay that 100. If they go any farther than that, I think it's a little wild for them. I already think 100 is wild, but I think it's doable. I think it's actually feasible compared to, you know. But it should be 70 or 80. If it's not 70 or 80, I think I'll be a little surprised. But if it truly is 100, I could maybe see them get by, but you're not going to see me get it. I know that much. And I think it's just because of the hype behind it, the amount of build-up, and it's GTA. They haven't failed yet. So, this is actually their worst, like, look yet. And it's just because they haven't released the game yet. And that's not really even that bad. By the way, we are almost up to that 640. If anybody took this play, please trim some of your profits now. After this bounce, if you took that, or after we took 638.35, waiting to get above that level as well as the today's open, don't even blame you. But 640 is close by, so if you did get into this play, please start to look towards trimming this. Of course, I can't force you to do anything. That's all up to you. But based on the game plan, that is what you should be doing. Rob saw what I saw too, Meta hitting new all-time highs. It's like, what the hell's going on? Ooh, if you guys are in Lifetime, check out Swing Trading TA. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name of the channel. I've been telling people to look in there if they have access. There's been a lot of swing setups getting posted, is all I'll say. Alexis, good shit on BMY. I'm gonna have to go peep that now, bro. Waiting for data. Am I about to get assassinated? Okay, here we go. Dude, you're crazy for trading this. I respect it, though. Okay, 5-minute BMY is just fucked. Gotta have a better health insurance plan to look at the BMY chart. My bad though. Let me get back to glazing. 1 second. Good shit, Alexis. Good shit, Maddie. Already getting your review posted. I respect the hell out of that. Quick scalp on this one. Nothing crazy. Playing the strength at open. Oh, that was from the before. Already saw these. Good shit, guys. Good shit. Leading by example. Let's see old Garden Trader. Oh, this was when it was still bouncing. Nice. I was like, wait a minute. Why is your chart different? And then I realized this was 17 minutes ago. I like that. I like that. Getting the chart posted before it was moving. Which it's funny. If you go to the post charts channel, guys, in Discord and you have access, Garden Trader posted the pretty much 90% entry of the 50% level on Triple Q. So it's kind of funny to see that there now. So it's like, oh yeah, we bounced from there. Very, very clean garden. Very well-timed post, too, if I might say. You posted it, and then it was just like, alright, rip. Go. Mansion and Benz's GTA 6 will be 100 when it's released in 20... Wait, did it say 62? Oh, 32. My screen's turned. I haven't given up on gaming, waiting for an industry writer to correct the nonsense. Your best chance is Valve. Like, that's your only chance. Our only chance. It is funny too, because a while ago when we talked about this, we talked about companies like asking for like, hey, open our third-party app, or open this, open that, and it makes sense and all that. But it's a lot of people who own Steam would just rather open it all through Steam. So it's kind of fun to see even like a game like Battlefield 6 do that. Like, yes, you still need to open or have an EA account, but you don't have to open EA. You just open the game. And GTA 6 is going to have, like, the very similar launcher. It's just going to be GTA only, this and that. Like, you're not going to have any extra crap on it. Just like GTA 5, most likely. But who knows? I could be wrong. Is that the FIPO? Am I reading this right? Hold up, I gotta... I'm, like, getting the crap out of my eyes. Am I reading this right? Tesla puts anyone? 330.88 is next. Let me peep it real quick. It did do pretty well. Of course, you know, it's funny too, Sandollar. This is the first day I stopped watching Tesla to watch Nvidia, and I shorted Nvidia, and I'm already done. I'm out. I'm not touching it right now. But Tesla did the exact same thing, and I probably would have shorted that today if I had the chance. But I was watching Nvidia instead. That was my trade of the day. Part of me wishes I would have waited for SPY as well. But I just wanted to, I think there was blood. There was blood in the water, because I really wanted to short today. Seeing some of those breakdowns. It's the FIPO. Maybe EA when BF and FIFA are going good. Yeah, maybe, because they do still have FIFA under their belt. And the whole sports genre, basically, which pretty much can't die. I mean, even though it's a smaller crowd, it's still a very good, substantial amount of money. Definitely can't argue with that. All right, so if anybody took that, I already posted the recap in the Discord. The hold of the 50% of the overnight move, again, that's just pretty easy. You just go from your previous day close up to your today's open, and it gives you this special little level here. Delete all that junk so you don't have all the extra stuff. I mean, you could keep this on, delete your fibs, and then keep your dotted lines for extra targets, but we already have one of them plotted, and you could just remember 640.75. But good return to the median, basically, and then a bounce so far. We haven't really got anything else beyond that, but it is only 9:30. It's only been an hour from the open. So we'll see what we get from there. But so far, so good on the game plan. If you guys already trimmed some of your profits, good job. You got out before it started wicking, which does fuck with the volatility. It fucks with the spread, which makes you make less money. So it's good you guys got out already. If you did. If you guys are still sitting in runners, I could completely see why. We haven't really given up anything yet. We're still in a bullish trend on a bullish chart. Also, that is all-time high. We are within $1 of all-time high still. Kind of crazy when you go to the daily and you remind yourself what has even happened to this point. Dude, every chart. Hold up. Let's just make another mess up chart. What I was saying is it's kind of funny to go from the smaller time frames where it feels like we're so jam-packed and it feels clustered a little bit sometimes. It's good to zoom out and remind yourself, where the hell are we on the daily time frame? So if you guys ever have an issue of that, just make sure to check it out. Just zoom out or have a second chart like I do and just back out, help yourself out a little bit. Sometimes it's fun too to redraw the important levels, like when we had our first all-time high and then we pretty much had seller days ever since then. We had a couple 90% on the daily. We're above that back again on the daily, even though this was the all-time high. We have a new one today, actually. And then also drawing all your 50%. You know, it's like, oh, you know, we gap down from here to here. Does it matter right here, right now? No, but if we ever return back down, this might be where we're going. So it's good to have that, already kind of had that thought out. You don't have to think about it in the future. It's just, if we reject, okay, well, I'm looking here. If we go back up, okay, I'm looking here. You're not reacting to just nothing. You're reacting to something you've already thought out. We don't need that chart either. Oh, and that is a good reminder. If anybody wants to check out the YouTube, some of the freer videos, these are 3 that I would check out. I would type these in on my YouTube, just context or order of operations or 3 phases of the day, and you'll give yourself a better understanding of what we like to look at. All on the YouTube. SMCI reversal. Bro, why is T trying to sue Powell? Wait, what? Why is Big T? Oh, Trump. I was like, what? My brain went straight to AT&T. I'm like, why are they doing that? What did AT&T do? Big T trying to sue Powell. Yeah, I saw that. It's so stupid. Powell has been pretty open. I'm not defending Powell too hard. I'm not going to be a super hardcore Powell defender, but I will say this much. He has literally been telling us what he's going to do with the interest rates and with all these economic decisions he's helping make based on data pretty openly. It's not like he said, I'm going to drop interest rates ASAP. He's never once said that. He said he would like to if we got data that supports it, but we haven't. Like, we're just now getting data that looks better. We're just now seeing the dollar strengthen. We're just now seeing all these other things happen with our economy. Like, it's not like this happened months ago and now we're looking great. Like, I don't think Trump understands, or maybe he does and he just doesn't care, that things don't just happen instantly, right? If we make a decision on our economy or a policy or something, right, you're not going to see the effect of that policy or change right then and there. It's going to happen 3-6 months later. It's the same thing with the stock market. You're not trading for, like, all this price action. This isn't for expectations of August the 12th, 2025, today. This is probably for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months and forward from now. This is what we're trading for, is forward expectations. This isn't for August 12th. You know, I think a lot of people don't realize that. Policies definitely take a lot slower effect. It's not like it's just, bam, interest rates down, everybody go buy a house. We're all good again. And BlackRock, sell a lot of those houses back, please. Like, that's not how that works. It takes a very long amount of time. Do you think Intel will be interesting in the near future since maybe new CEO? Do we think Trump understands anything? I don't think so. He understands how to get reactions. I know that much. And he understands how to broker a deal internationally, because that is something our Democrats are really bad at, our foreign policy. That is the only thing Republicans have over Democrats in our country right now, is foreign policy. They're really good at foreign policy and at least opening the door to it, even if it isn't the greatest. But it is pretty important. But yeah, no, he's pretty crazy right now. I think attacking Jerome Powell, for anybody who doesn't understand this, is very extreme. Attacking like the policies, changing stuff, like that's fine. He's a president. He can do what the fuck he wants. But messing with like the guy who is literally in charge of helping our economy slowly recover and grow is a little wild. He hasn't done a bad job yet. You could say he's a little slow, but he's also a little meticulous. He likes to be accurate with what he's doing. He doesn't want to drop interest rates and then inflation comes out the next month and the rates are just through the roof and everyone's actually like, we're just going through hell as a country. Like, no, that's not what he wants. He wants us to do okay, and then, okay, let's bring down interest rates and then be able to maintain that rate. Not, oh, we got to change it again. We got to raise them again. That would piss off everybody more than anything. I promise you, he's trying to avoid the most evil situation, which would be pissing off everybody on every front. So I think Jerome Powell is doing this fine. He's going slow, and that's how it needs to be done. He said it the past 3-4 years. Every other 2 months, this man is in a live meeting answering questions from reporters. He's going to do it. It's just going to take time. It's the inflation and the job market. There's so much to take into account that I don't think everyone's thinking about, including Trump. And again, this isn't to bash anybody who's a Trump supporter. I'm not bashing Trump like that. It's just to attack Jerome Powell is a little crazy. Do I think, and my bad about the Intel question. Yeah, Intel can't go anywhere. Somebody asked me this earlier. They said, do you think Intel's, I forgot the whole question, but my short answer was Intel is not going anywhere. I think a change of the CEO is perfect. And this actually just happened with PayPal. Completely different companies, completely different landscape. But it's helped PayPal a lot. It's changed their image. We went from fuck the PayPal guy to, okay, this guy isn't bad. And now it really is just a focus on the company. So it's not a bad chart, right? I think the same thing about Intel. I don't see Intel going anywhere. It can't. It literally cannot go anywhere. So I think a CEO change is perfect for the image, and then everybody can refocus on the company again instead of all the bullshit around whoever they like or don't like, which a lot of the time it does come down to that, as stupid as that sounds. There's even as something as stupid as just changing a company name to change your image, and then bam, you're back to being profitable for no freaking reason. Nothing else changed. Sometimes it's just image. But it worked with PayPal. I don't see why it wouldn't work with Intel. Because I don't see Intel going anywhere. They're a pretty strong company. Well structured. They're stuck in. I thought Trump and Intel CEO just made up at the White House yesterday. I'm not sure. I haven't really been paying attention to it at all. I just saw that there was a potential CEO change and all this other stuff, and it's bringing it into question. I know questions are up in the air. I know that much. But if that is true, Manchin, is it the old one or was it the one that they were proposing? I'm assuming it's the CEO that's currently sitting, the one I'm calling the old one. Watching CPRT positioning wise for possible longs monthly contracts. Currently basing on a daily trend support. Watching gap overhand. All right, let me see this. That's a pretty interesting description, Alexis. I do like the retake. Let me see the weekly real quick. It's still early. It's still early, but I do like this setup a little bit just because it has retake in this. So you have your liquidity grab, your retake, your bearish invalidation turn bullish validation. And then a return to the median, return to the level. And it's already retracing back up. That does have... It's giving me like vibes like this. I don't know why I'm drawing lines still. Hold up. It kind of reminds me of this, Alexis. Like, you have, like, this potential chance of, like, yeah, it's going to go up. And, yeah, it probably will get at least one impulse move up. So maybe aim for at least right here at first. Like, the highs. And then if you get anything extra, like a runner or something, see how much damage you can get. But I think your full expectation should be right here. If you can get past that with a runner, that's cool. But I think main meat of position should try to hit that. Just because it is very early, it's the first time... Actually, it's not, sorry. It's the first high or low since the first time retaking. Which I like this retake too. They didn't just go up and smack this level. They actually took a little bit of extra like ground. Gave themselves more room to work with. In case they did hold as a high or low. Also, this candle's just nuts. What is the halfway point of that? Okay, we're at it. Well, I'm not trying to scare you, but that's a pretty insane level. I like the setup though. I like how you waited till after the retake here. If you were like this move, if you were this candle, I'd be like, dude, you're on drugs. But this one, it's like, okay, I could see that working out. Not bad, not bad. What is this company? It's an industrial. Copart. Why does that sound familiar, but it just doesn't at the same time? Selling vehicles over the internet through its virtual bidding, third generation internet auction style sales technology to vehicle seller. That's a lot. They sound like a fancier Carvana, like a way fancier Carvana. Is it time, or is there an ugly cup and handle on the 5-minute chart? We seem to be forming the handle now. Maybe another 10. I don't know. I don't look at cup and handles. Oh, you just... Sorry. You're good, Mansion. I can look it up for you. It's probably the other CEO, the old CEO that people are trying to get out, but I'm not sure. That's just what I would assume based off that. Either way, though, thank you for the update. And not lying to me. I appreciate that. Think SPY is too early, but I could still drop some move. Oh yeah, my bad. We'll go back to SPY. I've been clicking around a bunch. I was just trying to check up on whatever you guys were looking at. Let's see. On the 1 minute, been making higher high and higher lows, so checks out. No problem, Alexis. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, you're still in bullish trend on the day. I mean, trend does start from here, in my opinion. Why does it do that? Okay. Trend starts from there, in my opinion. Everything else, we're just seeing extra. So it's a little bit worrisome because we're under all-time high, I think, is why that might add some extra pressure to it. But if this does pull back, I think the big thing is, can we hold this level? Because if we can, then it's an even stronger higher low, because it means we didn't have to go all the way back down to where we launched from. Right? If we got to go all the way down to the launch pad again, not really looking good. I would actually give that like less significance than if it held here or above here. So I think after this candle, and honestly after these two is where I was chilling. I think it's a good thing that we just wait and see, can it hold something else and give us another opportunity, or wait till it pops that high and then try to get a scalp. Which you could have all kinds of targets up here. Some of you probably have this drawn, which you're not going to see me bitch about. I probably will add this one, just so I can at least be included when this does. If it does go up, I can see where it's trying to go. Low down SPY is less than a cent lower than previous day control point. Yeah, the bounce is literally perfect. You got the halfway point, you got the overnight gap, which we can go to a different chart and draw this in case anybody doesn't understand what I'm saying. If you go to the if you go to the previous day, and you go from your low to your low as I'm grabbing the high. What drugs am I on? As I went from the high to the low. Sorry, we're just trying to get the halfway point. It's just a fancy way of getting this. Oh, I don't have to edit anything. And then this one, which this is probably my favorite. What is that? 06. Damn, we're on it today. And basically what this small ass area tells us is that if we're above this, there's a higher probability chance of going up. If we're below this, there's a higher probability chance of going lower. So it's just probabilities. But very good at call out Docta. And I've seen a couple of you mention it now, and I'm honestly very happy to see that, because, I mean, you're not going to see me complain about somebody calling out a good level. If anything, I'm happy to see multiple people mention it, because then we can see, okay, this is right. This makes sense. But yeah, so if you have like the bare minimum levels, this is what it probably looks like. One second, my puppy's barking. Alright, I'm back. Do we have any questions or anything about the simple breakdown we did for just the basic levels for the day? I try to do this like once a day or once every other stream just to make sure everybody understands how to draw the super easy levels. Which, in my opinion, they're all super easy to draw. I really don't think anything here is like that in depth. I think the part of our strategy that gets a little bit more difficult for some is like the order of operations. How to think in the right way. After price has done this, what is it supposed to do next? And what is it not supposed to do next? Therefore, you understand the probabilities of things. Oklo breakout. Well, I'm glad to see you're the one typing it, or I wouldn't have trusted it. Good update, Sand Dollar. Old Frankie. This chart was very different looking when I checked it earlier. I think I was checking it during this candle, to be fair, though. Or maybe it was this one. Not a bad chart, though, Sand Dollar. It's funny, you've called it out like a million times. I've been trying my best to like catch it with you more and more. And I have once or twice here recently, but I don't like to add much pressure on you either. Like if you post it, I just want to read it. You know, I'm not gonna go and be like, all right, man, I'm jumping into 13 contracts with you. Make sure you tell me when you're getting out. Like that would be some unneeded bullshit. So I'm good. I guess we could go add all-time high on our basic level chart. Or old all-time high, I should say. Since it has changed now. By 3 cents. And then we got 6... What was it again? 640.73. I'm not drawing that.
All right, well, a higher low is being held above 638.95. It's the previous day high. We'll see if they're going to get above the today's high, today's all-time high, old all-time high. My dog's being a little rascal this morning. But yeah, higher low holding. Trend still bullish. Nothing has changed. The only chance that we had of being truly bearish, I mean, this was a good start, breaking today's open and rejecting the all-time high from before, was just wicks here. We didn't get any follow-through. And it was almost the same story here for buyers, but they did a good job at least getting over and holding now. So this should break new highs and make it to 640.73 or whatever that first fib extension was. I think it was 640.73. So a little less than $1 over this first level, and then you have way more than $1 to the next level. Made some brekkie. What'd you make lag? He's gonna be like, I had what was I gonna say? He's gonna be like, I had formula. I had some oatmeal. Oh my god, I can hear my dog barking. I just read what you said, Alexis. I keep messing with my dog, sorry. Woots handed out a free trade in the chat, VRT. They already got a $3 move from his entry. Whoops, wrong chat. New all-time high again. Alright. We're all good on that. Carl said, run it. Remember, guys, drop a like on the stream. Share the stream link around. Thank you guys so far. And if you guys have any questions or things you want to add into the stream, just let me know. So far, we're seeing bullish trend remain to hold even after we dipped under today's open right here. Here's today's open. We dipped under that, and this is the best chance bears had. The only thing that we were worried about as a seller would be that they would hold the 50% of the gap up. Some of us had the 50% of the previous day. They're very close. On my other chart, I have a very large range drawn out. It's a little bit wider than this. And it's just to show this is where direction is from. If we're holding above it, we should be going up. If we're holding below it, we should be going down. And then everything else outside of that will be a good target. Basically, since then, we've just been holding and moving back up. So our fear came to fruition. So as a buyer, it was really good. But yeah, new high of day, that's the new all-time high, 640.23. And we'll see. Do they just want to stop at a psych number? Again, we're about 50 cents away from that first fib extension, which is from here to here. So about 50 cents from that. And you sold at CDO. I mean, I didn't hate it though. Yeah, but you got to remember what scenario you're in. I know you're being hard on yourself, but that's not the context that you're in. You know, it's not like you just bought the dip and just did this. Like, you scout before that too. So you're in a little bit different, you know, of a scenario than some of us. Like me, I just took a tiny stab at Nvidia, then I took a tiny stab at SPY. Didn't really have to touch anything else. And you kind of did the same thing. You took two stabs, you know. One of them almost was really, really, really good, and then one was pretty good. So I mean, it's not a bad day. I wouldn't say you're dumb. It's a good experience for you though, because now you can build off that, which you already have a lot of good experience, but this is just something else extra. You went lighter on your second, so no room for runners. That's what I was about to ask too. I was about to be like, where are your runners? But that makes more sense though, because of what we just covered. You already took one. Probably feel the need to not have to expose yourself as deep. I think that was smart. In my opinion. What the fuck do I know? What are you chewing on? I swear, I don't even know where she finds half this shit. I turned my head for 2 seconds. She's chewing on some manual for a Corsair headset. I don't even know where that was. No. No. Good morning, missed the stream. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm messing with my puppy here. Good morning, though, Ayala. Good to see you. I feel like I'm still saying that wrong. And you're just too polite to tell me. Good morning, though. Good to see your name, man. I went to short PLTR under 82. 182, my bad. I am saying it right. Okay. I probably said that a couple times. Lily munch away, you good? Yeah. I wish I could move the mic and make you hear this. So I have one of these little blankets on my floor and she likes to chew the corners, so I just leave it there for her. Anytime I go to pet her or pretend like I'm going to grab it, she'll be like, grrr, like she does this like really quick one. She's also losing her puppy bark a little bit. She's kind of getting a deeper bark now, and it's kind of crazy sounding. We need to have a Lily cam. That would be pretty funny. I just leave my door open, and she just runs around everywhere now. She's super comfortable. It was a gift from my mom for my... I had lost my dog like a while ago, like a year and a half ago. So she was just getting me another one. But the handler had called us and they were like, "How's it doing?" And we were telling him like, "This dude, this dog is in heaven. Like this dog gets new toys like every other day. We bathe it a shit ton. It loves water. I got her a kiddie pool. She's gonna swim in that this weekend. It's gonna be so cute. But yeah, Lily's in actual heaven. When she dies and goes to dog heaven, it won't even be as good as this. Like, she is literally in heaven. Y'all should see her butt jiggle. I gotta get a video of that. Whenever she comes into my room, sometimes she'll like find a sock or like literally anything you can think of. She'll get it, take it into the room, and she doesn't like tear it up horribly, but she like takes it and she walks around with it like it's a proud achievement. Like she came in here and like Sly Coopered that shit out of my room. It's the funniest shit ever though. And she'll like bring it back to you multiple times to like show you, look, I got it. Like, it's like, yes, I see it. It's so funny. Innocent achievements, let me tell you. Damn, it's already 10. I say this every stream. I'm like, damn, it's already 10. Damn, it's already 10:30. It just hasn't felt like 90 minutes has gone by. Someone clipped that butt jiggle part out of context saying she not... Okay. Y'all are really evil with these clips. I could sit here and cover Spy for like a few minutes and be like, can someone clip that? Crickets. I say some sus shit that you could easily take out of context. Instant action. Y'all are evil. Honestly, though, I wish y'all would do a better job in telling me on when to clip something, though. There's this thing right here that's called Add Stream Marker. And I can click that to go and take videos from my own stream. But I'm pretty bad at it. I haven't clicked it a single time. I've just gone and taken the videos. Which I think that's the coolest feature ever that YouTube added, because that wasn't a thing before as a streamer. I had to like download my stream. I had to like go in there and edit it, clip it out, render it, upload it again. But now it does all that for you as a creator, so that's kind of cool. You are just as evil with the clips. Only because it's Polo. Actually, I'm probably one of the top Polo glazers. I would put myself up there. I don't know if it's an esteemed list or not, but I'm definitely on it. No, Medi's the one you gotta look out for. It's so crazy seeing Fipo's name in here. If you guys didn't know, Fipo is European, and he also trades. He's like, he's not in the Netherlands like Tobias. We have a few Europeans in our chat as well. I try not to remember all the countries because there's just so damn many punched together. Then again, so are the 50 states. So we're all kind of the same. Yeah, very cool. We love our Europeans. Yeah, with my couple of stocks that I have. You're in some good ones though. A lot of people in my chat like looking at tech, semiconductors. We have a few healthcare lovers in there as well, which I totally don't mind. Healthcare is so freaking huge now. Which I think healthcare actually has some of the craziest upside potential. I just think it's going to be slow as fuck. Because if you go to the XLV chart, this used to be, remember guys, the only reason I say it's this significant is because it used to be, Jesus, these are some old levels. It used to be the second heaviest weight on the S&P. So if you go to SPY, you go to Analyze, you can see these sectors right here. Healthcare is, well, they were 6th, now they're 5th. 8.72%. They used to be second place only to tech. And that was before COVID. That was before Ukraine. That was before all the other bullshit in between. And now it's barely 5th. It's almost 6th place basically, and not even 10% of SPY anymore. So that alone is interesting to me, because if there is any recovery to healthcare over the long run, as an investor, that's a huge sector to look at. I think it's just going to be really boring, so it's going to take its sweet time. Also, you have to deal with the UNH debacle, which is just, you know, horrible. Gonna buy some AMD now? Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was crazy that I hadn't even noticed some of its recovery. I'm so locked in with like Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft out. Like sometimes you forget AMD, and you forget it was literally 80 a share not even that long ago. It's over double that price. It's fucking amazing. I had a bunch of. I'll have to go find who all it was, but Andrew, off the top of my head, was definitely one of them. But I had a bunch of people in my chat who were like AMD lovers, and they just waited for AMD to dip, and they kept buying more after it broke 100. And I remember all of their messages. They were always like, "Oh, another day waking up being a great AMD investor." And it was like as it was dumping more. But a couple months went by. I'm sure they're sitting pretty now. Oh my God, Lily.
You stay or you go?
I agree, slow and steady. Long-term healthcare has a lot of potential. Boomers have a lot of money, and people spend more on healthcare than the older they get. No, that's very true. I think healthcare is also going to get a lot, I'm not going to say affordable, but more accessible. You speak the forbidden name. Wait, what did I say? Andrew? Drew? Totally forgot about TXN. Oh yeah, no, TXN's on its own little tangent. Yeah, don't forget about Texas Instruments, man. This is where I'm from. I'm from Texas. And it's a semiconductor. And they make those calculators that we all had to use when we were younger. For no damn reason. Yeah, never forget about TXN. The weekly looks sexy as fuck. Let me check it out. Let me just delete all this junk. There we go. Ooh, I don't know why. As soon as I saw that, Alexis, I was like, I have to draw. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna leave that. I don't know why I try to draw it. Like, dude, just leave it. That is drawing it. So of the high to the dip, that's where the 50% is. That's pretty significant. And then I'm sorry, but we have to draw this. We're going from the close of this day. That's why we're not grabbing the bottom. We're grabbing the close to the open of this day. And then we're left with a bunch of very clean looking lines. All right, chat, what do we call this? It's a loss and retake. It's a bearish invalidation into a bullish validation. What is this called? And if you call it either of the names, you're correct. There are two names I'm looking for. You only got to get one. What do we call this loss and retake? And I'm only covering it because it retook at a pretty important level. It's not like I'm going to cover every loss and retake from red to green or green to red. Lag got one of them. Can we get the other name? Can we get the other name? Can we get the other name? Who can get the other name? Yes, yes, yes. Y'all got it. 90. Good shit, guys. Liquidity grab and a 90%. I just like for y'all to remember the 90%, the 40%, the 80%. The only reason I like y'all to remember that is because it keeps your mind in like, okay, probability. This part of the chart better, this part of the chart bad. I just want you to remember stuff like that. So when you're taking trades or zooming into your micro, you're not worried about all that crap. You already know you're in the tense of, yes, I'm going up. I'm just looking for an attack. I'm just looking for an exact entry on something. Good answers, guys. Thank you. Very good answers. And very clean chart. What's your name? Alexis Optioneer. What's your name? Like he hasn't been here. TXN. Let's put it on and move it up. Because I really like that. And maybe not here right now, like getting a new trade, but I think we both can see this is going to start giving us more potential. And who wants to ignore a semiconductor? I know I don't. No, very, very good find. We're going to keep only bull above it because I just am so addicted to this chart. And then UPS. This is a pretty insane setup. I don't know how this is even down here. In my personal opinion, this should not be below 100, let alone 90. This one I think is going to take more time than people think. I've been saying this for months. I just think it's going to take a lot longer than people imagine. And I really do tie this to the Netflix. To the Netflix and meta recoveries. See, Netflix wasn't just one drop. It was multiple very large, significant drops. And it had its own thing going on, but Meta, same sector, same, not same reasoning, but pretty similar. But they also didn't just have one big drop, one big drop, one big drop. They had multiple. It's going to take a while because you have to change the sentiment of the long-term investors. Right now, the sentiment is in the drain. It's not just going to go back to euphoric feeling the next day or next week or next session. It's going to take a while. So, if not any more downside, definitely expecting some consolidation to some extent because that just needs more time. But I think that could be a good in the future play, just not right now. TXN, Bull, UPS, already covered these. Ulta. Do not let me forget Ulta. If we get a bearish retest on Ulta, we are taking this. That could be a good swing, though. Trying to find literally just anything that could give us some sort of setup without making shit up. Because like this right here, like Nike, like... Yeah, we probably could get in and just hope it keeps going up towards 90, but it'd be just guessing. But that's another good trendy chart that's up on a gap, has multiple higher lows, and hasn't made it to the next area of the chart. But this is another one that has some promise. No. Beautiful trade from the break above and hold the previous all-time high to the minus 100% gap fib. Good shit, Maddie Clams. We had both Maddies get in the stream and kick ass today. Dude, good shit. Oh, they did make it to that level. What are you getting? Getting this shit. No. Come here. No. Quit going over there. I don't even know why you're getting that. Ultra with the bullish kicker on the daily. Yeah, I'm looking to see if it's going to reject that or not. But it is a bullish kicker, yes. And yeah, Knox Done Me used to tear up that chart. People forget how awesome Ulta can be. They're like, I don't use makeup, so I can't trade it. I'm like, huh? What kind of logic is that? But to tie into Matty Clam's point, good job though, bro. Of the fib extension, he was saying he made it to the 100%, which is right here, which was that 0.73 level we keep talking about. Good shit, Maddie. Good patience, too. All right, sorry, I'm here again. My dog's messing with the door. Good job, though, Maddie Clams, making it up to that fib extension. Very, very nice. Very methodical. Very Maddie Clams. Vix is getting cooked. That's good. That's always good, right? Isn't Vix the one that scams people? Or what that lady say? Vix above 12 or whatever the fuck. Vix above 14. Contracts should be cheap and affordable. I saw that actually. When I was trading earlier, I saw the SPY chain. I was like, every time I've read these out to the chat, they've been like 108 or more. Today they were like 92. I was like, okay. We will take that $16 discount. Because a discount is a discount. And yeah, the volatility wasn't screwed either. That was the cool part. Like, it was cheaper for contracts, but things were still moving. Like, it's not like I got in and it was like, here's your $13. What are you barking at? You barking at me? She's so tough. She wants to play, but we can't go yet. We gotta wait a little bit. Hopefully the game plan and all that stuff made sense so far. As of right now, we're just still on that bullish trend, hitting bullish targets. We already hit the fib extension. The only thing above our head now is about 642. So we either make it to there or we slow down and consolidate, which either of those scenarios really isn't bad. Remember, guys, a lot of these updates I'm giving are intraday updates. If I'm covering SPY on a 5-minute chart, I'm covering SPY today. I'm not sitting here saying SPY in 3 months from now is going to do this or that. Like, I have no idea. In terms of short-term updates, we got you on lock. Also a great time to check the briefing website, guys. Holy brightness. Moving the market. I always just go straight right here. It's the best part of the screen. But July CPI in line with expectations, though increase in goods indexes signal some tariff-included inflation pressure. Increased expectations of a 25 basis point rate cut at the September FOMC meeting, which is pretty expected. I think a lot of us expected that even before the increased expectations. We were all kind of expecting, well, I say all, I mean like us as a community, expecting there not to be rate cuts until whatever the next meeting was. So, not this one, but the next. So, September. The last was last month, I believe. Or the month before. It just was too early. We didn't have the right data to back up, hey, can we bring interest rates down? Now we have some data where it's like, okay, we could maybe support that. Which is good for the economy, by the way, if anybody doesn't know. I think the thing I'm most worried about, and I talked about this maybe 3 years ago on stream, was stagflation. Everyone's worried about inflation. It's stagflation that you should fear. Whenever prices come back down, which is what you and me are about to experience, or have already experienced in some cases, like with food products, we're going to see some prices not go back to what they were before, meaning there's a little bit of slippage in the price, meaning Basically, there's extra cost to things that shouldn't be there, which is stagflation. It's just extra cost on things after inflation has been brought down. It's the leftover, which sucks for the consumer, you and me, you and I. The Fed watch has a 92% chance of a cut in the next meeting. Yeah, that's kind of impressive. I'd be shocked if we didn't get a rate cut, because the whole point was for them to do it at least once this year. We definitely didn't have the data the first half of the year. Now that we're getting into the second half of the year, we're starting to see, okay, there is a little bit more, and we're almost in the last quarter of the year. We're in the last month of the third. Oh wait, no, we still have one more, don't we? Yeah. This month and next month are the last of the third, and then the next one's the last. So either way, it's just we're at the back end of the year, and we have data to provide. Hey, can we bring interest rates down a little bit? It said 25% cut, so I'm not really surprised. If they would have said like a full point, that would have blown my mind. But 25, not really shocked by that. So there shouldn't be any pushback. There should definitely be a rate cut just because it's not that significant of a cut. But it's the start of something, and then they're going to get the data, and they'll go really slow on that, and they'll be like, all right, we can back this up more, and then we'll see probably a bigger cut on the next one, if we can back it up. If there's nothing that changed your data to back up cutting interest rates further, then you're not going to see it. That's how strict the Fed is right now. They're just not going to do it. And if they need to do something, they're going to do what they're about to do. They're going to do a small cut, do a sample size, see what the hell's going on with the data, and then a couple months later, they'll make their decision again. Can we make further cuts, or do we think that was already kind of crazy? Either way, though, we're going to have stagflation. Which a lot of people used to bring this topic up right after the first initial drops were happening during COVID. But I think that's because at the time, I don't think anybody thought COVID was going to be as big as it was. Also, the extra, I'm not going to say drama because I don't mean to call it that, but the extra wars opening up around the world definitely didn't help the progression of any of that. So, overall, the global economy is just trying to slow down and consolidate, and are trying to get the data to provide any changes, if made later on after that recovery, to further give us interest rate cuts. The globe is affected by the globe. If China and Europe start progressing, we're going to start progressing. If we start progressing, that helps them get a boost. So someone's got to start. Alexis, you're right and wrong at the same time. They're not opposites, so they're not always going to, but in a certain condition in the market, yes, that is going to happen a lot, actually. It's pretty popular that those are not opposites, but go against each other. But it's mainly in times of correction, like when, for example, after COVID, Ukraine versus Russia started happening, energy prices started going through the roof, even further than they already were, which was already kind of wild to us. So sometimes it's a conditional thing where it's like, oh, well, that's because the market's rotating that way. Sometimes it is just natural rotation, nothing to do with any economic thing or anything happening in the world. But I will say that does happen a lot. And when you do see them in unison, because I used to say this a lot about healthcare. Healthcare used to be like my opposite sector that I would look at when it was second place. So it's not an everyday thing, but it does happen a lot. But no, you're good. I like the thinking out loud. It makes me feel not crazy sitting here talking to myself. Don't you just love not trusting your gut? I'm assuming you didn't hold or you didn't enter. I thought you entered, or maybe you didn't though. Or maybe I'm thinking of Alexis or Maddie. No problem, bro. That was a cool thing to think about. I love talking and thinking about sectors because there's so many like different things that people think about them, but they're actually so simple to look at, and it's fun to just kind of gauge them. They're just a bunch of gauges, like in your car. Like that's how you should see them. You shouldn't see them as a one-off indicator. It really should be seen as like, all right, this is what this is saying, this is what this is saying. Kind of getting a chart in your head based on just the sectors, and that should help you, not do it for you, but it should help you and your clarification for direction on like SPY or any sector within SPY. I always like going over this stuff though, because sectors are really fun to look at and think about. In my opinion, they're fun. Because people think like the market's just random. They don't understand that a lot of this shit is connected. The weighting of SPY too. I think that's the other coolest thing. A lot of people don't really think about a lot. In my opinion, is how they're weighted and how much of something is within SPY and how it affects it, and it's just so cool. You should be able to tell where SPY is going without looking at SPY. That's how the sectors and the individual weights should help you most of the time. I'm not going to say every time, all the time, because that's not the case. By the way, inside bar in the 5-minute, potential breakdown in the 5-minute. I'm just not trying to be super fearful on this, because we already went up a bunch, so no point in fear-mongering. But we do have an inside bar in the 5-minute and a red candle following it, so that could be the potential start of a slowdown against this new all-time high at 641. Also, good job, Maddie, and anybody who drew that fib extension. That was really big because we didn't just hit it, we went past it a little bit, so that's good. Anybody who might have been trading that did not get trapped. Both Maddies and Alexis. Good shit, dude. Thank you guys for posting already. Dude, Kevo and Username are killing it for the lifetime guys right now. If you guys have access, definitely check out Swing Trading TA or Lifetime Trade Floor. I would just check those out. Some pretty good posts by some of the leaders within the group. Sometimes they just feel more comfortable posting in there because there's less people. People who are more invested into the group or whatever, so it's cool to see them do that. Oh, and Carl. Carl killed it on the trade floor as well. You know, I had to look to see if you were right. Because I was like, man, I just never see anybody in my chat call that out. I mean, I know exactly what you mean, but I never see people type that. But yeah, you're right. Gary, you're right. You probably know you're right. I'm not trying to not trying to act like that. I just wanted to reconfirm to you that you're, yeah, got that going good. Grab myself a lit so I can lock in. A what? Never question Gary, son. Yeah, apparently not. Don't Don't check Gary's gangster. He's good. No, I just let my mind overtake my reason sometimes. Just remember your reason has higher priority. Because that's something that you are getting into based on something you looked at beforehand, you know? Whereas your mind, it's going to be trying to react to something that's live, you know what I mean? Something that isn't prepped. So your reason has higher priority. And you got to think back to yourself, Carter. You know, you do a really good job of understanding what should happen next and what shouldn't happen next. Therefore, if either of those happen, you understand what to do next. So you got a really good mind for like a sense of direction, I guess I'm trying to say. But maybe because you have such a good sense of direction, you overthink things. And maybe you should just stick to like, all right, this is what I said I was going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Fuck everything else I'm thinking. Fuck what I'm feeling. Ignore all that. Numb yourself. Drink a fifth of whiskey. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But just, you know, focus on that reason. Because you definitely have a good sense of direction. It's been proven time and time again. So, I'm telling you to listen to yourself, but not to your newer self. Don't listen to the Carter that's in the trade. Listen to the Carter that was talking before the trade. Because that Carter's pretty smart. He aight. I always refer to the Candlestick Handbook. I actually respect the fuck out of that, Gary. When I see that typed, I'm like, all right, this guy is somewhat knowledgeable. Because it takes a certain eye to see the single patterns. Because it's really easy to see 3 white soldiers. I mean, anybody can see that. But sometimes it's hard to break down, oh, but what's the difference between this and a piercing line? Or what's the difference between this? It all starts with that open. That next day's open was higher than the close. So that can't be a piercing line. It isn't a kicker. It's still within the previous day. It's a soldier. So I really love that you called that out, because that is a really good short-term swing setup that a lot of people kind of sleep on that do understand candlesticks, because they don't think that it's fully progressed. But in reality, it's the beginning of something more, most likely. More times than not. So a lot of the times getting in on a single soldier or a single crow is actually really, really important. Really, really significant. Oh, that was a lot of talking. Sometimes I quit talking and I'm like, man, I gotta breathe. If the cost of mistakes are too high, fear will win. Damn, bro, Dr. J's got some bars. No, you are 100% right. I almost don't trust the work I put in. No, you really don't. It's crazy. Like, I see that sometimes. But I think I'm able to say that to you so easily, not because it's like, oh, fuck Carter, let's criticize Carter. I think it's because I was the same way, and I am the same way. The only person who can truly fuck up my trade is me, not the market, not the market maker, not some, you know, outlying issue that just doesn't matter. Reference J&J, August 1st. Oh, yeah, right here. I think this one's cool, too, because you have, like, this right here. This, like, whatever. This move up and then a little bit of a higher low. I guess you could call it that. Not really. Goes up a little bit more, comes back down. And then you get that soldier. You kind of have one right there, too. But, yeah, that's what I mean, though. Having, like, a good positioned one, and it's the beginning of something. It's the beginning of trend. It's funny, too, because if you go to my old pattern videos, now that I'm thinking about it that way, it's funny how many patterns, like, let's say you're in an uptrend, and there's, like, all this crap happening. Horrible drawing, I know. A lot of the time, near, like, the top or the bottom of the trend, you do actually have, like, a pretty clear as day candlestick pattern. It's just about understanding, do I get the first low, or do I wait for it to make that second higher low and then get in on that and then trim some here and then have runners that have risk, not as much risk, making it up to higher levels that you can take profits, and vice versa, other direction. Yeah, no, very good shit, Gary. I'm actually so fucking proud of you, dude. Kind of made me smile a little bit. That's something me and Leland used to like religiously look at, was the difference between like piercing lines, soldiers, gap ups, kickers, because they really are all different. And there's a way of understanding which one is which, and then what are the priority levels. And it's funny because the levels are the same on all of them. You know, you're pretty much grabbing halfway points, the barriers of the candlestick pattern itself. So as an intraday trader, you almost don't need the patterns on the daily to understand, okay, this is probably a good setup. But it does help on every time frame, so it is beneficial. No, you're good, Carter. Feel free to fucking type as much as you want, dude. Please. So I'm not here alone. Had puts from CDO retested the overnight 50%, which we... Wait, I am on SPY. Had puts from the CDO retested the overnight 50%, which we dropped to. I know if we hold this again, we haven't really lost anything and did take my gain. Wait, that's a really good decision then. Got whipped out after the red test and hold the PDO. To CDO, take a bigger L than I understand. Then reset, took a trade from reset. No, that's good. This is good spamming. This is good ranting. Because you're getting, these are good, realistic issues everyone's going to be thinking about. Like, you're not alone when you think these things. I also like how you put this one sentence. You said, where the fuck is it? To CDO, then you said, took a bigger L than I know I understand I shouldn't take. Like, that's what I like. Like, you understand the distinction between good and bad now. And it's not just because you lost money or made money. You know, it's not just because of the process. And that's the kind of thing you need to be trusting when you're in the trade. Easy to think about when nothing's moving and we're not in the trade because, you know, it's not as much to think about. In the trade, definitely a lot more pressure. But these are good things to think about because this is realistic. Reminding yourself, hey, wait, I don't need to fake myself out. What am I doing? No, you're good. You're good. I can't speak or type, so you're good. And I'm not even ESL, so. But yeah, that was kind of fun to read through because it's like, yeah. Like, I was like, wanted to like rally behind him. Like, yeah, this is all making sense. Yes. But it's because Carter actually trades. New all-time high? New all-time high? Ooh, new all-time high by 1 cent. Let's go. Free bananas for everybody. One second, I'm gonna grab some water. All right, I am back. Sorry. Not like anything moved that much anyway, but I am here again. Let's see, did I miss any messages? %. We do keep trying to get better though. On what ticker, Gary? On the one we looked at? Or you're just saying in general you do this? Which also very cool. The only way to get better at looking for those things too is literally doing that every day or every other day or so often. You know, going to the daily, having like a bunch of cleared charts and just kind of flicking through them. It's like, okay, bullish kicker. Not really a hammer. And also not just looking for candlestick patterns. Because it's like, yeah, no shit, bullish kicker, new all-time high. But it's like, is that well positioned? Kind of a higher low, but not really. More of a squeeze. So it's also about finding good positioned patterns. Not just patterns or a good position chart, which is still pretty decent. Even without pattern. But if you can get both, chef's kiss. In general, okay, yeah, that's a good way to like. I was gonna say it's a good way to get better. Like, no, it's a good way to like grow your muscle memory for seeing it and reacting to it. What to think about, what to look towards, what to look for. Good thing I stopped shorting Nvidia. Tis a very good thing. And yeah, guys, let me know if you have any questions or anything on the basics of levels or any of that crap that we cover in here a lot of the time. It's a really good time to cover it. Anybody has any questions about anything they've done or anything we've been looking at or based on the game plan? I've been doing a good job of posting the night before, day before, and then reposting in the morning of, just to kind of remind, if anything. And thanks for the likes. We broke 20 likes. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. That's with me forgetting to share the link forever. So, not bad. A lot of really cool posts in the Discord today to take away from, honestly. IWM, Triple Q, and Spire all up. Good looks. I didn't look at IWM too much today. I don't even look at Triple Q as much just because I am literally staring at the tech stocks that make it move every day. So in my head, I have the chart, but not actually looking. But IWM, dude, I wish I was paying attention because this is really fucking clean. Also, I didn't even draw the gap up fib. Didn't even touch it, so it doesn't look like it matters. Actually, IWM performed a lot better if you think about it, performance-wise. You know, all the other charts, they had that move up, then they fell down, just like this did. But when they fell down, they hit the overnight 50%. Or the previous day high or something, you know? The other two. This didn't do any of that. It just went down to that next level and held today's open on the next candle. So, direction-wise, this did pretty damn good. That would have sucked to be trading this candle and then this happens just for all of that to happen, but that's why I'm so heavily against the first 10 minutes. Like, I know in the past I've been like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, definitely trade less. But if you're trading the first 2 candles of a chart, I think you need to find God or a mental institution that'll, you know, take you in or something. Like, you find something, because if you're having to rely on the first 10 minutes of the day, yes, there's a lot of volatility, but there's also a lot of slippage. People don't think about that. So, I genuinely, the first 10 minutes is like a genuine red alert for me. Anything beyond that, fair game, but first 30 minutes, you definitely don't want to have to trade too much if you don't have to. But the first 30 minutes can give you some of the best context of the day a lot of the time to take a really good trade. Me on the 1 second. I'm joking, of course, about the like find God, like all that stuff, but it's just, you know, I think if you're looking at that, you're kind of like destroying the whole purpose. Not the 1 second, the trading in first 10 minutes conversation. I just don't see the point. You know, if you find a signal from the first 10 minutes and you're taking a trade on that, I find that as a red flag too, because it's like, why are you using information you just got, you know? When you had all night and all morning to prepare based on levels you should already have set. You know, that's what you should be basing it off of, not something that's just now appearing regardless of direction or how exciting it may be. Those first 10 minutes really don't mean much. It's good price action, sure, but I mean, it's just, what are you taking away from that to make a trade? You just got that info. It's like it was just born. You're gonna take advice from a baby? I just don't see that. A weird way to put it. I don't think I've ever said that. Very weird way to put it. My bad, I was reading something. I'm still reading something. Clip that 10 minutes, take advice from a baby, wise. Yeah, cut it up. Make it sound like I said take advice from a child. Add I can't breathe. Add some Brazilian funk music in the background. Hype it up a little. All right, let's get a list going because I do not want to forget this before it's the end of today. So before the end of the stream, let's get a list of tickers that look swingable, even if it's just some quick little reason. Wrong watch list. This is the one we want. We'll close that as well. And is this on one? It is. Thank you, Lord. Oh no, I fucked up the zoom. What are you growling at? I don't know what she's growling at. Nothing's happening. Daily time frame. TXN, let's write it on the list. Notable mention. Did I spell positioning wrong? No. It's funny because both of these tickers are Alexis mentions. Ulta. Ulta if we get that rejection. I gotta put coin in the notable positioning. It is in a notable spot. UPS needs to be genuinely on its own tier. Potential S tier. LT, long term. Hyping it up a little, but I think it's that good, honestly. Intel. I think Intel's going to get a lot of movement. TTD. Oh yeah, TTD had that gap down. UNH we will not add to the list yet. Jesus, dude. Also, let's... Excuse me. I had all these backwards, and I just wanted to, I just wanted to fix that. Just to categorize them a little bit. Disney? I'll check out Disney. Added some monthly emergings just because I need a bland chart at least to look at. That's probably what that other chart was. This here too is pretty important. One second. All right, I'm here again. Sorry. Lily had to go outside real quick. She was letting me know with her barks and her growls. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, Disney. Let's go. Quick 15% scalp on that move on SPY. Chilling for the rest of the day. Good shit, Alexis. Round of applause to you, man. Failing to make new highs, so market had to do a liquidity grab to go up. Yeah, that's a very good description. And Gary, let me finish Disney here. So I think I was saying this is a pretty good pivotal area because of the past events, past context, that this is where they held and decided to move up from. So we could think about this as being a place where they're trying to hold as a higher low. I do like this bullish kicker. McDonald's 4 red sessions in a row. That's pretty rare. I feel like just because it had 4 red days in a row, it'll have a green day tomorrow. GEHC recovery needs to be studied. Oh, Target needs to be right here. And here. I think Target's a pretty S tier setup for potential swings to the upside. It just sucks they have fucking earnings on right around the corner. Nike's a good one. I just think it needs a lot more time. And this is more or less us. This is more or less us updating continuation of Nike from when we were glazing it down here. UNH is one that we have not yet even started glazing, so needs more time. LW potential S tier. I agree. Reddit's on crack, as usual. Snow has notable positioning. Jon Snow. Shop, we'll leave that one alone. Whirlpool, notable positioning. I'm just a bill, and I'm sitting on Capitol Hill. Is that Lily? Oh my god, are you the Lily? Can I get your autograph? And that's all of them. Okay, cool. Well, that's a pretty good list, I'd say. Any edits to this, or anyone want to add to this, or changes, or anything? Hey, don't chew on that. Where the hell do I post this? I guess I'll do it in premium. Alright, I saved the list. So in case my OCD ass deletes it, we will have it. Alright, back to Spy. Do we have any questions about Spy or any movement while I was focused on looking at other charts and other things? Do we have anything to add or say or delete? Feel free to share. Schoolhouse Rock. Is that what it's playing? Or did I mention it? I would laugh so hard if it was playing Schoolhouse Rock on a non-copyrighted playlist. I'm assuming you're talking about what I was looking at. That made me almost choke. That got me. Just reading Schoolhouse got me. I'm just a bill. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, no way it's singing that. Please tell me that's not copyrighted. Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock's pretty OG. My 4th or 5th grade teacher who was in elementary made us watch that shit. At first, as a kid, you're like, this is stupid. But then the songs start playing. You're like, damn, this little fold up piece of paper's got some bars. This Constitution's got game. There was a couple other songs. I can't remember them all. Bill was definitely the most memorable one. Old Little Bill. Giving us a song that explains the complexities of the politics that already don't make sense. Thank you guys for all the likes and everything on the stream, by the way. I know I said it earlier, but just saying it again. Very, very cool. Thank you again. Conjunction Junction. You're gonna make me look these up and then I'm gonna remember them all and get PTSD. That does sound familiar though. Wait, where's my earbud? Oh my god, I do remember this one. That was the other, like, coolest one. In terms of beats, too, that one was pretty chill. This song sounds so dumb. Come on, is there any, like, non-copyrighted plays that don't sound like we're out in the fucking forest? I guess not. Dude, all these songs suck. I just said, I wish it didn't make me sound like I was in the forest or the woods. The thumbnail for this one is literally in the woods. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Okay, wait, hold up. That sounded like that got good. I'm gonna let that play. I'm actually listening to the music with y'all for once. Before I end the stream, I'll end it here in like whatever number of minutes. I'll give everyone time though. Does anybody have any questions or anything for the stream or about the stream or about anything on the chart or anything we were looking at today? Or about the strategy or the system or literally anything? If not, I'll end it there, but I always like to leave the back end of the stream open for anybody who has questions. We've been doing a pretty good job. We've been trying to do three streams a week, the first 3 days pretty much, and then I've been trying to put out like videos with them. I didn't have to do it yesterday because at the back end of the stream we did the review and it was kind of nice. Kind of did the same thing here today. But yeah, check out the videos. The most recent ones are just clips of the stream that I just clipped using that new feature they showed. Thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, not bad though. I've been checking my popular videos because this is Leland's video, and it's genuinely still getting views, and it's kind of crazy. I still get comments on this video. I think it's because it's Leland though. He's got that like voice. Like, damn, this guy sounds famous. At least to me. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm not leaving yet, lag. I was just seeing if anybody had questions. Low key. That's a long name. I'm not reading all that. Low key is what I'll call you. Quick overview of everything. How many trades did you take today? Personally, me, I took 2. I took one on Nvidia to the downside and then one on SPY to the upside after the bounce. After that, I just kind of chilled. I've been chilling here, just covering reviews, looking at people's trades. A ton of people in chat took trades on SPY. There are a couple different tickers, but mainly SPY. And the different variations of that. Some people are on futures, some people are on SPX, which is totally fine. Personally, though, I only took 2. And then on SPY, what we have in front of you is all the levels that I just reset again today. I was just doing it in stream to show everybody the least amount of levels you should have had on your screen at least. And I could redo it again, I guess, since you asked for a quick overview. But overall, I'd say the most 2 important levels that were actually neck and neck with each other. And these are levels we could draw every single day if we had the chance. Now, this is one you can draw every day. So I'm going to go from the high of previous day to the low of previous day. And I'm just getting an overall range. This isn't anything special. The level is special, though. And so all we're doing is getting a halfway point of yesterday. It's pretty important. And then since we did get a significant size gap from previous day to today, I'm going to go from the previous day close to today's open. And I'm going to get the 50% there. Same exact thing I grabbed on the other one. I'm OCD, so I'm going to get the level correct. And then I highlighted for a visual aid. You don't actually have to highlight this at all. You don't have to do that. It's just a good visual aid. And basically when we're looking at this, before I add the other levels, Jesus, I can't click. We're looking for, basically if we're above this, higher probability chance that we're going up. If we're below it, higher probability chance that we're going down. So any other signals on top of the signals like this, you can actively trade on. This is just kind of like to get you set up. So it's like, okay, well, we fell under today's open. Where are we going? Most likely towards here, right? And if we hold this, where are we going? Most likely to today's open. It's just a simple logic of thinking. And then you can add all the other levels. Like we have our previous day high, previous day low, previous day close, which isn't that significant today, and then our today's open. And I guess you could have added yesterday's open, but you don't have to have a million levels on your screen. Another thing too that you could have left on that I said earlier as well is this, and then you could just maybe add these dotted lines on your own, and then you could delete it so you don't have to have all these extra lines on your screen. But basically everything else would be like a target compared to this. Especially those dotted lines. It'd probably be good to keep them as a dotted line so you remember, oh, these are just targets of that fib extension. Or of that fib, sorry. These are the extensions. So now we could look at this and be like, well, we gapped up, we pulled back, created liquidity to move back up, to have the chance of even to going back up. New all-time high, by the way, 641.27. And then we hit 1, 2. I haven't quite made it to the third, but I think just hitting 2 alone is already a good show of strength. Like, yo, this was a good day. It wasn't just a gap up. There was actually some follow-through. With a good chance of making it to the third still. I'm not taking that away. I'm just covering what has actually happened as of right now. No problem, Sandeller. Thank you for being here. But let me know, low-key, if that is sufficient enough for you. Do you want me to cover some more or look at something else? How many trades did you take, low-key? You're willing to ask me, let me ask you. How many did you take today? Which, honestly, isn't really a good rule of thumb. More or less, but I appreciate the question. No problem. Thank you for asking. What is my idea for the market tomorrow? Well, I'll have to wait till the day closes out for the day, but I'll probably do the same thing. You'll probably see me. I don't want to delete this chart, so let's. Son of a bitch. I guess I'm just going to do it. We're going to go to default. Okay, so tomorrow you'll probably see me do the same thing, low-key. The level that you should add every single day was like this one. Doesn't even matter how you draw it. You should be able to get the halfway point of your day, right? So today's not over yet, so I can't necessarily draw this yet. Oh God. Let's say the day is closed right now. Market's closed. You and me are ready for tomorrow. Jesus, I cannot draw. I'd go from the low to the high, and then I'll add this level, which it probably won't be that. We'll probably see something else because the day's not over, like I said already. Then we'll add this day's high because that's the new all-time high as well. Probably add the low of this, but in all honesty, I probably don't need to add the low. I'll probably just keep this. Holy crap, I can't draw, dude. Go from the close to the open of this day, and just keep that level there. And we'll probably just leave it like that. So if this was what the day looked like going into tomorrow, we'd have huge intentions of probably continuing back up, but with understanding that if it does pull back, this is most likely where it's going. And if this breaks, we have other levels to look towards. So it is pretty simple. In terms of levels above, I'm going to have to probably abuse like the backwards weekly fib, which is another method just to get a good level above our head without making shit up, which would be actually about right here. So I don't know why I keep doing that. So if we do move up, there's a pretty good chance we go towards like psychological levels. See how we have like 650 from the dotted line? We also have 645 right here. Just let me add that. So kind of looking to see, do we make it towards 645 really? Do we continue to work towards that psychological level, or do we tap out at any time soon? But I'm definitely going to track it using each day's halfway point. So it's really not that complex. It's a little methodical, a little tedious, but you'll always have a clear sense of direction. For the most part. I'm not trying to act like this is some perfect strat and there's no wrong ever. Like, no, you could definitely fuck up. You didn't trade today? No problem. Did you at least go back and do like some mental reps just to see like if I was here and this was happening, I would have done this instead of stop loss here, instead of target here. I find that always kind of fun to do, even though it's not as effective as, of course, actual trading. Thank you, Dr. J. Thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you. I like the way you explain it. Holy crap, I can't speak. Makes it a lot more simple. I'm definitely going to tune in tomorrow morning. Awesome. If I am here, I will be glad to go over whatever you want. But in the beginning, and if you want to back test me too, you can. You can always go to the beginning of the stream where I first cover the chart and just kind of go over the stuff before it happens. I'm really big on that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really care if you're making $1,000 or making $10. I don't care if you're winning or losing. It's not really what I'm focused on. What I'm focused on is conditional trading. If this, then that, right? So if I have something set in place and then let's say 3 weeks go by, right? I should be able to use that same exact method to continue trading. It's not like what I did 3 weeks ago should change, you know? Nothing should change. It's all set in stone. So I would definitely say focus on... Actually, I don't know why I keep trying to re-explain this. I just need to filter you guys to this more because these are clips from the stream, and it's helpful so you don't have to watch 3 hours of me talking. But I would definitely check out this one here, BB system, daily levels you must know. This is kind of what you saw me go over just now, and you'll see, excuse me, the important levels that you should have every day. This one's a good tie-in to it because it shows the context of how you should use those levels, and then everything else you can watch on your own. But
Um,
This is the big boy, though. Operations of trading. This is what I labeled our theoretical thinking behind how the levels work and how you should have a sense of direction when something happens. So it's a weird way to put that. I'm sorry if I'm like not making that make sense. This is just what we call that. I didn't know what else to call it. But yeah, so I would definitely check that out. Not even like plugging for views. Those videos don't even have ads. Unless you don't have YouTube Premium, then you just have ads by YouTube, but that's not my fault. But yeah, check those out so you have better context of what I was just explaining. Because if you like that, you'll probably like those a lot too, because those are just like this, but about different days. So it'll also help you have a little bit of... I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Like, not more experience, but you'll have more understanding and more to go off of, more than just this one explanation. You know what I mean? If I was just doing this and I said it once, I don't expect you to retain all of that, you know? Maybe you understood it, but will it retain? But maybe if you check those out as well, or you do it on your own chart, check it out a couple times. So basically every time you have a previous day, you want to have that day's halfway point. And actually for like 2 weeks, I was literally just using those levels, and it was easy as ever. Because this is what our chart looked like today with like full-on everything I could throw on there without adding all the other stuff. And you can see, we had a sense of direction. If this does come down, we understand that this could still bounce here. And that it doesn't truly get more bloody until we see a break of that whole highlighted area. So just having something simple like that in the back of your mind before the market starts moving is what you need to be focused on. Because if you aren't, you're going to constantly do this thing where you're being reactionary and you're like, oh, well, it's doing this now, it's doing that now, it's doing this now. And you'll find yourself shorting and longing like every other move in the same day. So just not a healthy routine in my opinion. But having these simple conditional areas where you're setting it in place beforehand and then you're following it after, that's important. Because then you can actually criticize yourself. You can't really criticize yourself if you're trading on the go. It's like, there's so many excuses you could give yourself that you probably don't even believe in. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy that. If you have any other questions, let me know. Thanks again for the likes, all the clicks and stuff. Appreciate that. If you guys are in the Discord too, shout out to you. There's a lot of really cool updates and posts in there today. This isn't really your normal trading community. It's more or less just like, here we have a system and we're trying to help people be leaders more or less than... I'm not sitting here and we're like following each other's signals every 5 seconds. Like, that's just insane peer pressure. That's also not how you should trade. We do call outs here and there with each other, but it's more or less as like a friendly, hey, check out what I can do kind of thing. Not hey, make sure you follow this so you can follow me every day of your life. Like, no, we're do this so we can do this on our own. You have a question? What's up, Sandollar? What is up, Frankie? Can we make the sky move with carbon credits? Is sky a ticker? Because you typed it in all caps. And then what the hell is the other part of that sentence? I don't think I'm qualified enough to even answer this question. Carbon credits, also known as carbon offsets, are essentially certificates representing the reduction or removal of 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They are a market-based tool aimed at incentivizing businesses and governments to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions and combat climate change. I don't know. I have like a really stirred argument against a lot of this, so I don't even know if I should answer this question. My big thing is like people don't take into account how much the sun affects our planet. The sun also got hotter, and nobody talked about that. We acted like we were the reason the Earth is so fucked. Like, we are part of the reason, sure. I'll agree to that, maybe a little. But I think people also forget our sun got a lot hotter, which kind of fucks with our atmosphere. But that's science. I'm not here to argue science against belief. Why don't we land on the sun at night? Duh. Yeah, dude. Put him in NASA, bruh. Put him in NASA. And the only reason I read into that kind of thing is because before I was even doing this stuff and I was in plumbing, I had a guy next to me who was always just addicted to like weather and like the science behind it, and like he would tell me about like hurricanes and earthquakes, and on the other side of the planet there'd be a tsunami happening, and like just all kinds of crazy shit. That is actually all facts too. It's kind of wild. He was a little weird. He was a little tinfoil hatty. Some things he said it was like, okay, you're tripping, but he made sense of the sun. And I started like researching a lot more after that. And it was interesting. It's like, okay, the sun is actually kind of a lot of the reason that we're experiencing some of this shit. People say solar flares, and like they're partially right. It is the sun reaching and getting a little hotter. Also, the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. I don't know where they are right now, but they're not where you think they are. The magnet poles themselves, they're... Sometimes they move. They're always moving. Like, they're not always perfectly sitting still. And that can fuck with our planet as well. But that's pretty crazy, because that does sound a little weird. Like, the description of carbon credits just doesn't make any sense to me. A market-based tool aimed at incentivizing businesses and governments to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions and combat climate change. I'm sorry, but climate change is a natural part of the planet. Like, that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. Could we be better with some of our emissions? Yeah, 100%. Not arguing that, but both can be right, and that's the problem with a lot of the people who are around this topic. They think only one of those can be right. Both can be right. We can reduce our emissions, and climate change is a natural part of our planet, along with the sun and all that other crap. Gravitational pulls, magnet pulls, like, it's a lot of shit. It's not just like one little thing causing this. Rather donate to the... I only donate to one thing. And if you guys want to join in, you can. Maybe I can get my brother to send me a link. But my brother's a missionary. That's the only thing I donate to. I support his missionary stuff. I don't even know. And I'm not even religious. But he's my brother, so I like to support him. And he goes around the world actually doing pretty cool things. He goes to different countries. They help people out. And regardless of the helping them find God stuff, it's still really cool that they go to these countries and give them food, supplies, clothes, toys. It's really cool. That's the only thing I donate to, because I've literally seen the effect of it. I don't trust donating to a bunch of stuff these days. People say AI is using so much water to process, but just wait till you see how much golfing takes up a day. I don't know. That's a lot of weird talk. I'm not trying to sound weird with the tinfoil hat. That's just like the science behind climate. Like, it's just a part of the planet. People act like emissions are 100% of the problem. You could say they're part of the problem, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you that it's a majority. It's definitely not. It's not even close. 641.50, by the way, new all-time high. I keep questioning every time they make this all-time high. Are they going to give us like a psychological all-time high, or will they just give us some random-ass number? 641.62, you know? 641.50 sounds nice. Rings off the tongue. 642 would sound nice. Somewhat memorable. What is the Bill Gates thing, by the way? I didn't even click on this video that was going to summarize it for me, and then I fell asleep. What is the whole Bill Gates drama? What's up with that? I saw a video titled Bill Gates just fucked up, and I was going to click on it. and then I didn't. Someone give me a TLDR Bill Gates drama. He's making artificial foods like butter. Is that bad or? Let's see. Rich nations should shift entirely to synthetic beef. This motherfucker. Of course he wants us to move to plant-based items. He owns a plant-based company. Go figure. Bro, Bill Gates really sat down in his boardroom one day and said, guys, fuck brick and mortar. Let's get into plant-based meat. Like, what? They closed up all those Microsoft stores just to do this? Like, brother, take the advice from Beyond Meat, bro. It's not a easy company to be into. So you just only have to assume Bill Gates is hemorrhaging money into that company. Dude's already a billionaire. How much more does he need to be to be? That's what I'm saying. Like, this guy has an unreal, like, an unreal strength for this kind of thing. Bro's gonna go down in history. I mean, there's literally a Lil Wayne song just called Bill Gates. And he's still going for these kinds of ideas. Like, that's kind of wild. You gotta respect the grind. Even if you don't respect his ideas, you gotta respect the grind. I think it's a wild... I think this latest idea is probably one of his dumbest ideas, but I respect it. I need to find that video for y'all still. Maybe I'll find that today. There's a video of Bill Gates, and it's like he's in front of a crowd of like actual human beings, not like a bunch of rich people. And when I say rich, I mean his kind of rich. And they're asking him like prices of things, and like they're like, "Yo, how much do you think a bag of pizza rolls are?" And he was like, $26 or something like that. It's like, what? Like he has no real touch on prices of things, but he'll sit there and tell us we need to eat plant-based meat. Richer countries need to move to synthetic beef. It's crazy talk. I just can't agree with that. His logic is so bass-backwards. Still, though, the grind. Gotta respect it. Modern day... Wait, what? Oh, modern day Robin Hood, I see. Gonna be a good quantum algo that's gonna distribute his wealth to everyone by hacking his ass. No, other way around. He hacks all of us and donates to us as a planet. That's some real tinfoil hat. Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I've been doing a pretty good job of hitting my quota. Not really, but good job though, guys, in the chat today. Good job in the stream. Game plan was honestly perfect. Execution, some of us could work on, but overall it seemed to be pretty good from the group. We got to have fun making our own little notepad, if anybody missed that, for notable tickers on the daily time frame. So that was kind of good. Yeah, we got a lot done today. And I'm losing my voice. But guys, I'll see you later on. Thank you guys again. Have a good rest of your day. And love you all. See you guys in the Discord.